So on our journey with Jesus here, we have been studying the life of Abraham, and God gave Abraham a promise that through him would come a nation, and through that nation, all families of the earth would be blessed. Do you remember that, Selah? You remember? But in order for this to happen, Abraham and Sarah, Abraham and Sarah had to have, very good. So Abraham then kind of came up with some of his own plans of how he's going to fulfill God's promise. What was one of Abraham's plans?
Through Eliezer.
Okay, through Eliezer. So Eliezer, which was who?
Abraham's servant.
Abraham's servant. So Abraham thought, okay, through my servant, this nation will come. But was that God's plan?
No.
No, okay. So then he came up with another plan.
So Sarah suggested that they have a baby through Hagar, their Egyptian maidservant. So they did that, but that was not God's plan. They took it into their own hands, and it did not work out, and nobody was happy about it.
So we have two of Abraham's plans, not good plans, and then God had a plan of how he's going to fulfill his promise, and here's what it was. It says in chapter 21 of Genesis, then the Lord took note of Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had promised. So Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the appointed time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Okay, so God fulfilled his plan in a very unexpected way, and Abraham's plans really weren't a part of that, right? But then Abraham thought, well, hey, now all I got to do is raise Isaac. And then Isaac became probably a teenager, they think, and God told Abraham to do what with Isaac?
Sacrifice him.
Sacrifice him. How could that be a part of God's plan? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So again, we see God's plan is totally unexpected. And so did he sacrifice him?
No. God sent a ram to take Isaac's place. And just like God took our place, and also Isaac carried the wood up the hill to the top of the mountain where they were going to sacrifice Isaac, and God also carried the wooden cross up to the mountain where he was going to die on the cross.
Yeah, it was to point towards Christ dying on the cross for us, right? God's totally unexpected plan. So, similarly, we had a plan. God has given us a command to go and make disciples. And so what we're doing with our ministry is we're doing going to churches, helping them by doing seminars on media, helping them to make disciples and helping them to send some disciple makers to unreached people groups. So in order to do this, we need to do some training in San Antonio with Media Talk, and we did that. That was a part of the plan. And then our plan was to go to Florida and work with the church on disciple making. But something unexpected happened. God had an unexpected set of plans of his own, and that was for us to break down in Mobile, Alabama. We were there for almost 3 weeks, and we thought, what is the purpose of this? But you know what? As we look back, these are the things that God had in mind in his unexpected plans. Number one, it made us make a defining decision for our ministry. If this was a ministry that Jason or Dad here is going to do primarily, we don't really need a bus, we should get rid of it. But if we're going to do it as a family, it's a good idea to have a bus because we could really use it as we travel around to churches for the ministry. And so we, in the end, after prayer, we decided we're going to do it as a family. And that was defining for us as a family for this ministry. Number two, God led us to a wonderful place of rest. A wonderful couple in Mobile, Alabama, let us use their guest house, and we were able to get rest, and also it was a very big encouragement for Megan. Three, we were able to settle down long enough for me to build a website for this ministry. Absolutely needed. Also, we were able to make some new friends and gained a few more supporters for our support team as we are missionaries with Frontiers. So, in following God in our lives, we're going to come up with plans, and that's good and that's fine. But oftentimes what God does is He has His own unexpected plans in the midst of our plans, and they're way better, and they bring about fruit that He desires for us to have. So, what unexpected things in your life is God using to further His plan? We'd love to hear about it. Maybe leave some comments below, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.